Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Off Streets interview with my good friend Samuel. Yeah, on the beach. On the beach with Samuel, Lintaro, Hopf. Hopf. And this is the 4th day of our road trip, actually. Last day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow he flies out. So it's a good way to end our little road trip that we've been having to make our joint zine.
Yeah.
So yeah, end of the plug for our joint zine. So let's begin. First of all, can you introduce yourself to some of my audience? I know most of my audience knows who you are because we've been kind of a duo for a while.
It's like Spider-Man.
What is this? Leica and now GoPro? Like, who are you trying to
It's like the
imitate?
Spider-Man meme.
Oh yeah.
But can you introduce yourself for the people who don't know?
I'm Samuel. I do photography. I have a YouTube channel, Samuel Street Life.
サムエルストリートライフ YouTube チャンネルの登録者数10万人突破のご報告をさせていただく運びと相なりましてござりまする。
Father, husband, house owner since last year. I moved out of the city.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So can you tell me how you got into photography?
Oh.
And specifically street photography in the end?
I have always been doing photography when I was traveling with the DSLR, taking pictures of scenery, landscapes, sometimes people, but I would never photograph other people because it felt strange. And I didn't know at that time, it was around 2011, 12, about street photography. I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
I was more into photojournalism, and street photography felt like something similar, but it was not on my radar. And then in 2013, Ricoh came out with the first APS-C GR, and they asked me if I want to have one.
Wow.
And yeah, I was doing work for Ricoh before that with my Pentax DSLR, and then they needed someone in Europe to be one of the ambassadors for the GR, because until the first APS-C GR it took a while. There was no camera for a few years. It was a big deal. First APS-C in the world, first compact APS-C.
First? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So when that camera arrived at my door, I knew about Daido Moriyama, and I felt, oh, I can be Daido Moriyama now. And I tried a little bit of street photography, but mostly little abstract stuff like long exposure and little shaky photos. And
Yeah.
but it took me until my when I started my YouTube channel that I really considered myself a street photographer or someone who wants to do street photography seriously. So I would say maybe I've been doing it since 2013, but 2017 when I started my channel I gave it a real shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was reading, I discovered Street Photography Now, the book, with the Matt Stewart cover, and that was my introduction to other street photographers.
And yeah, maybe some people don't know, but I was one of your first fans, commenters on some of your early videos. And if it wasn't for Sam here, if it wasn't for the connection that we made and, you know, us becoming online friends before we met each other.
And by the way, I'm in Fukuoka city to meet a long-term subscriber.
Hi, I'm Alex.
So this is Alex, and he is actually, I think, one of the first subscribers, or maybe some of the first person who commented on my video. Yes, so how did you find my channel?
I wouldn't have started my YouTube channel, or I wouldn't have taken my YouTube channel as seriously because I was doing a lot of POV videos and stuff, and Sam was watching my videos. giving me nice comments and encouraging me to do more, like talk more during my videos. Because a lot of my videos I wasn't talking at all. It was just a normal POV street photography video.
You were talking in the beginning.
Yeah,
Then
just a
I thought,
sec.
oh, he can speak so properly.
And then yeah, then you really encouraged me. So thank you very much for encouraging me to keep going and that kind of stuff. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Everyone, make sure to thank Sam
Let me
in the comments.
I also have to say thank you to Alex, because as he said, he was one of the first active subscribers who was commenting under my videos, under every video. He randomly donated like $10 via PayPal like a few times, and that was to me crazy because I just started. Now what's this guy doing in Fukuoka? So
Yeah.
yeah, if it hasn't been for the $10, we wouldn't be friends. I'm just kidding.
I just figured. Yeah, I mean, I just figured you need some coffee when you're out. Take the train,
Yeah.
you know, to get in, because I know what it's like. Also, you know, like even you go out and you do street photography. It feels like photography can be like this free thing when you're shooting digital, especially. But no, it's like you got to take the train, you got to eat, you know, you got to, you know, do things that cost money, right? So, yeah. Anyways, let's get on to the first major question for the interview. What has been the best and one worst part of being a photographer who does YouTube? And notice how I said, I didn't say YouTube photographer, because that terminology, YouTube photographer, is kind of, it's a little bit bullshit, especially in Sam's case. He's not a YouTube photographer. He's a photographer who's on YouTube, or use YouTube as his platform to share his work, right? So what's the best and the worst thing about it?
The worst thing of being a photographer on YouTube is that if you want to do it regularly, you want to build a following, a community, you have to keep making content, right?
Staying consistent.
Staying consistent, showing up, sharing work that you might not like yourself, you're not proud of it, but you have to share it because it's part of a video you're doing. So the worst thing about doing YouTube as a photographer is oversharing.
Yeah.
But you can
knowing when to control how much you share.
Yeah, and you control it. You can control it to a degree. For example, if you do a POV video and you film it for a few hours in a city, if you only show 1 or 2 pictures, then everyone's like, "That's it? Where are the other photos?"
Right.
So you want to show more, to show what else you got, but
to also be realistic. To be realistic about street photography, that it's not always this thing that you're always winning. You know, like a lot of times you're losing.
Yeah, but the problem is then that people see your videos, see your work through your videos. They don't go to your website maybe where you put your best work on it. So they might think, oh, this guy, yeah, he's mediocre. He's like, I can do that. Yeah, but that's how everyone shoots crappy pictures, and
Yeah.
you know, some people get bangers all the time. I don't. But you can still, you can control the types of videos you make. Maybe you have a project and you talk about it and you just show, like, and you say these are the attempts, and here's the final series of images. But yeah, in general, it's oversharing and creating an image that is not really what you want to present.
Right.
So I have some
Just
people told.
for the sake of the video.
Yeah, because some people also told me, they said, you know, it's strange, I don't really know what your work is. Like, because it's always something new for every video. And they're like, I'm not really sure, like, what is your main work? And that's kind of sad, because I have work on my website, and what I show online is just, you know, more like exercises. But let's not do this too long. So, and then you wanted to know the best thing.
Yeah, sure. The best thing is what? One best thing.
One best thing. Of course, meeting other photographers.
I want you to vlog me like one of your paintings.
Being able to find like-minded people anywhere. Find people like you, find people like Jason, Leo, Jay, let's give lots of shout outs here. Ulysses, you know, all the people who I met through YouTube and then in person. So that's probably the best thing. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think it's very similar for me. I think same thing. Same thing.
It would suck if I would do the videos and I get nothing back.
Yeah.
I meet no one.
Right.
Just in my backyard talking about lenses.
Yeah. Well, you have a really social channel. Your channel is all about socializing and meeting other people and photographers.
I was told once that my videos feel like virtual bromance. To what?
To your new baby.
Oh, okay.
and the Leicas.
And the Leicas.
So, next question. Date, marry, kill. You know how this game goes? Date, marry, kill. So, for example, something that you would keep forever is marry. Date is something that you would have temporarily, and maybe you would change it for something better every once in a while. And kill is something that you would never have and you hate it. So, date, marry, kill. Date, marry, kill for cameras. Date, marry, kill for cameras. Because you've had quite a lot of cameras in the past. So have I. So I want to know which is the camera that you would date, marry, and kill.
I think it makes sense to talk about cameras I've already owned, maybe.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
So
maybe you've held it, you've had it. Maybe you really want it, you can't afford it, or I don't know.
Okay, then let's start with date.
Marry,
Date would be
Like
maybe
an
like
M?
an M7.
Like an M7. Okay.
That would be date.
That would be date.
But I don't want to shoot film anymore, so. But
Okay.
I
But
think
okay. So like, what if you could shoot film a
Yeah,
lot
then-
and money wasn't the
then
the
probably
question?
the M7.
So the M7 would be date.
Date, and then marry. Marry. Obviously the GR. Whatever GR comes next. The GR is like my small little wife that is always with me. And I have another fat lady here that is my second wife.
Very cool.
But kill? Kill? I don't...
What's the camera that you got that you really regretted? When you got it, you hated it, and yeah, it's like the biggest regret, and you would never own it again.
I don't really have big regrets because any camera I owned taught me something. Probably the Q2.
The Q2?
Yeah.
So you'd kill that, and you'd never have it again.
Yeah.
If someone gave you a Q2, if someone gave you a Q2, you'd be like, no, I don't want this Q2, or you'd sell it right away for a profit.
Yeah, I would sell it right away for a profit, unless it would be a real 28 and a little faster focusing, manual focusing, a proper distance scale.
What's your main reason for taking photos when you first started versus now? Has anything changed in the reasoning of why you're a photographer?
So in the beginning, I was in my childhood I was drawing a lot, and I studied graphic design, and then photography was almost like a combination of drawing and composition, design. So maybe I did it to explore my creativity. Now it's a little different. Now it's just something I... You know, I'm actually asking myself lately, what would I do if cameras don't exist? How else would I express myself?
Oh,
Or no video, no photography.
Right.
What would I do? Because I really enjoy videography and photography. Directing, you know, the frame, what's in it, creating experiences. But without photography and filmmaking, would I go back to drawing? I don't know. I kind of don't like drawing anymore. It's boring to me right now. No, maybe I would. I don't know. But I think I do photography because I don't know what else I should do. It's something I always have to do. And I think that, you know, it sounds cliche, but I'm taking memories, right? That's why we do photography.
Yeah.
And I want to remember things. And I know that if I keep shooting, then I will remember things the way I remember them.
Physical, digital. You'll have a physical or digital something you can see that gives
Yeah,
you that memory back.
yeah, and
Especially when you get old. When you get old, you lose your memory, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like my grandfather, like before he passed away, I would show him photos of him, portraits, and he wouldn't remember. But then slowly he would remember them, or he would not remember them, but be happy that I took them. And I know someday my family or someone will appreciate it. And yeah,
Cool.
That's it.
Very good, very good. Next one. If you had a time machine that can only go back in time, to what era would you go back in time and do street photography?
Either Paris, around the time like Bresson and Doano were shooting in Paris, or Soviet Russia.
Wow. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Definitely interesting.
Yeah. Or, that's a little controversial, but maybe the Germany, you know,
During World War II.
during World War II,
Yeah.
World War II,
Yeah.
the DDR.
Yeah.
Because there are a few photos of that time, but yeah, that would be interesting to see or witness coming from here, from Germany, from 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very,
But as a
very cool.
half Japanese, I don't know if I would want to go back. Maybe I would be mistaken for someone else.
Hard times. Hard times. But interesting to document. Absolutely. From a historical perspective. I really appreciate that. That's cool. Oh, actually, congratulations on 100K again.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah. And of course, there's a lot of people doing photography on YouTube these days. There's a lot of photographers who want to put themselves out on YouTube these days, and you know, maybe they're not as popular, maybe they're trying to grow. What's your biggest advice for, you know, people who are photographers on YouTube trying to make a name for themselves?
Definitely find something that is 100% you. Don't pretend like you are someone you are not, and then don't do content that you know is going to get views or is going to be popular. You can combine, of course, your authenticity with trends on YouTube, but I think I don't think I'm the best person to ask how to grow fast or grow, because I consider my growth very slow, especially during the pandemic. But I have a feeling that because I always do what I want, sometimes I do the occasional sponsored video, but I don't need to. I can always say no, and it has to be something that I'm personally interested in. And I think over the long run, if you keep doing what you like, then people will appreciate that. And yeah, it's hard. I actually don't want to encourage people to pursue YouTube unless they just don't know what else to do, and they're doing it already and want to give it 100%, then give it 100%. But find something that only you can do, and if someone else would do it, it would not be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to make something unique, right? That, and then I'll just have the passion, because it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah. And also, when you run after trends, then yeah, you will always find people who follow you because of the trends or popular videos you did. But the people who like the stuff that is more you, to them it looks like you are trying hard and you're losing, yourself. And I think it's better to, don't worry too much about views. If you have a bad month, then whatever, work on the next video. And yeah, what is the word? I think street cred or something is probably what is more important. Like after 10 years or so, now I've been on YouTube 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. Maybe in the next 5 years I quit. Who knows? But do I want people to remember my awesome camera reviews, or just me as a person, my journey, the friends I met, the experiences hopefully I provided, maybe some inspiration. That's to me it's more rewarding when people say, you know, I started photography because of you. And you must also get that sometimes.
Right.
And that's so cool. If you do,
it's really nice. It's really it's really nice when people say that I've inspired them in some way. It's like, wow, that's really humbling. Yeah. And I also agree. In the future, I hope people recognize us not for our gear review videos, but for the experiences that we shared of photography, obviously. These kind of things.
Yeah, hopefully our love for photography comes through our videos, and what's left after we leave is just you know, the spirit where we celebrate the photography, and everyone just had a great time. What am I talking about? But you know what I mean.
No, I think that's perfect. That's actually a really good way to end this interview. Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you for having me, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you for driving for the past 4 days, because I don't have a driver's license yet. And thank you for hosting me here and showing me Fukuoka and Kyushu. And if I wouldn't be so sick today, I would be more excited here on camera. But I'm glad we still made it. Yeah,
I'm trying to take it easy on Sam today because he's been having a little rough time. So, but thanks for gambaruing, gambateing. Yeah. Thanks for doing your best. Thanks for trying hard. And I admire you, and I wish you all the best for the future. Keep it going. And everyone else, stay humble. I'll see you again. Goodbye.
Challenge your eye.
Challenge your eye.